Hey everyone, Coops here from the Whole Box and Dice expansion box set number 1, Mighty Heroes. Villains will be up shortly. Wanted to dedicate a whole video to each expansion set. These kits are going to be out, I think, like a week's time, 10 days max, until they are tournament legal. Be very interesting to see how some of these cards impact the current meta. We're going to do the good guys first, and we'll start off with Comrades Combine Son Goku. Let's check this card out. It's a battle card. 15k power, costs 3, double blue. When you play this card, look at the top 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 blue Vegeta among them with an energy cost 3 or less and play it in rest mode. Then place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. This one's a very interesting card. 3 and double blue is surprising for a 15k that also pulls something out and puts it into rest mode. I guess the idea that you could pull this and then say critical Vegeta, or even just the 3-drop 20k vanilla, maybe is too much value, so they don't want to put it into rest mode, which I understand. The double blue certainly makes this card very hard to splash. I'm not sure how you want to use this for Patara. I guess if you want a Patara from the field and you want to play this for 3 and then Patara over the top and get a swing in, but then you don't get a swing in with the Vegeta, so I find that really surprising. I think the fact that it's 3 or less meant that you could probably get away with even, like, okay, best case scenario, you're playing the triple strike. You're playing the critical, right? And maybe the absolute best case scenario is you're playing this, playing the critical, giving it double strike, then Pataring over the top. You've still invested a lot of energy into that turn. You can't use the Patara card to manipulate it at any point. So I'm a little bit surprised at this card. I think Vegito and Patara certainly needed some support. I'm not sure if the Comrade Goku was the right way to go about it. The Vegeta, on the other hand, is a little bit different, and we'll look at that one now. This one is Comrades Combined Vegeta, the second card from Mighty Heroes. It's 3 costs, double blue again, but it's not 15k, it's 20k. But if all your energy is blue, reduce the cost of this card in your hand and battle area by 1. Now, hand and battle area is obviously relevant for cards like Kale that are going to pop and up to an X amount, so there is some downside to that reduction. A 2-drop 20k is very nice. I guess the deck that wants to run this is Vegeta, just straight mono blue Vegeta is probably the only thing that it's kind of worth looking at. I'm not exactly sure why you would want to run this card as well. Like, it's definitely better in my opinion than the Goku, but a 2-drop all blue, you know, Vegeta, yes, happens to be a blue leader, but there are some monocolored decks that play off-color leaders. Then you've got the 10k pumps, which sometimes charging them is the right decision. Then you don't get the cost reduction. So an interesting card for sure. Obviously 5k combo is always relevant, but I'm just not sure how much play these cards are going to see and how much they're actually going to impact the meta. Similar to this next card, and which is a huge disappointment for me, the Trunks Link to the Future, 3-drop 15k again, 5k to combo. It has critical, and when you play this card, look at the top 7 cards and choose 1 blue Vegito with energy cost of 8 or less and add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is a card I found very confusing. There's 2 current Vegitos. There's the Set 2 promo and the next card that I'm about to show you. And neither one of them are game breakers, and neither of them, I think, really you're begging to have a tutor for. We already have 3-cost cards that are critical. We just mentioned the Vegeta. There's the Goku from Set 2. So I'm not exactly sure where the benefit of this Trunks is. Vegito as a Patara, or even just as a line to play, is not strong enough to contest a top-tier deck. So I do like what they were trying to achieve. I like they tried to add some support to the Patara line, but I feel like they were very worried about overpowering it, and it makes perfect sense. Obviously, you make Patara too easy, then it becomes very, very aggressive, but I think they've kind of undervalued some of the, it's just some of the importance of getting ready guys and having access to more splashable colors as well. I guess there's the Vegeta as well, having all your energy blue. Is that confirmed to be Vegito making your energy blue, red, green? Does that really, should that be narrated to like all your energy is at least blue, but that doesn't really make any sense, but it does in relation to Vegito, so that'll be an interesting ruling. I'm sure they will rule it that the Vegito energy is fine, but just another interesting caveat with these cards. So the first couple, to be honest, a little bit disappointed for me, especially the next one. Just the blue stuff, the green stuff is amazing. The blue stuff, just not so much. This is SSB Vegito, the Savior, 30k, double strike, critical, dual attack in some way, shape, or form. Pataras for 5. I love the dual attack, and on the second swing you get critical. That's insane. Sorry, I like the dual attack critical, and on the second swing you get double strike. So when it attacks twice in the same turn, it gains double strike for the duration of the turn. That I love about this card. But at the end of the day, it's an 8 cost 30k. There's no protection on the card. It doesn't have a relevant ETB on top of this, so another card that I like that they're trying to add more to Patara. I think this costs too much. It's very hard to get this off. A lot of decks have just outvalued you by this point, and this card doesn't do enough. Like, if the card was unblockable, or can't be countered, like similar to Set 1 Goku, interesting, but then I guess on the chances that you get it off for 5, is that become too strong? But yeah, it's one of those cards where like I said, I love that they're trying to do stuff with Vegito. The Patara is such a cool thing in the anime, but I think they've missed on the blue cards in this expansion set. But luckily, or maybe also unluckily, depending if you wanted to dodge buying these, the green cards absolutely make it worth it. We'll look at Unified Spirit Sun Goten first. You'll never guess, 3 cost 15k. This one is activate main, return it to its owner's hand, and the order is when it attacks, look at up to 7 cards. And it's weird as well, like look at up to 7 cards from the top of your deck. Choose one, you'd always look at 7, obviously. And put it with 15k among them, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck, right? So 15k, Trunks Youth, no color restriction. You've obviously got your 10k pump. You've got your Unyielding Spirit Trunks as well. So if your leader's blue, you've got the Refresh and Energy, which is great. So if you swing in with this and you're allowed to combo, you can effectively combo with 20k and you make it a 2 cost investment, which means you can do this twice for 5, which I think is kind of relevant maybe at some point. But the Sun Goten, it's just nice having a green Sun Goten as well for Mighty Mask that's not 5k. We've got the Family of Justice, or Spirit of Justice, I can never remember the exact name, that pops something 3 or less. To be able to pull something out that's a 5k combo, I think is super relevant as well. Also possibly means you don't have to run the blue Sun Goten in decks that are trying to get that value out of Mighty Mask. Similar to like my blue-red Vegito deck, for example. If you wanted to focus on... Sorry, dissimilar I meant to my Vegito deck, Vegeta deck, sorry, that can get the benefit of the blue 2-drop vanilla Sun Goten. This is a way that if you're running like a red-green deck, you don't have to bring a 5k potentially in hand, and that can be the awkward difference sometimes between being able to save one of your dudes or even yourself just having lethal damage directed at you. Let's look at the Trunks, however. This is Unified Spirit Trunks, the second last card out of the set. It is a 15k, 3 cost battle card. For some reason, these are just single green, where the other ones were double blue, so don't ask me where game design decided on that one. Activate main, return it to its owner's hand, just like the Goten. But you also get, when this card attacks, you may reveal 1 Sun Goten from your hand. If you do so, choose up to 1 opponent battle card with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO that card. Very, very interesting ability. I think this is super relevant in terms of clearing blockers. There are not a lot of stuff that gets played exactly on 3 that like you have to remove. You know, like the Android promo is annoying. The 3-drop sell if they're playing without the chain, that seems counterproductive to ever do that. But I just think this is a great card that you can play in a deck. You know it can remove blockers. It's a 5k pump. Revealing a Sun Goten is not exactly giving your opponent huge information away, but also the ability to pop 2 things, you know, to pop double blockers, like even like double Cyclopean Guard, for example. Pop 1, use Sun Goten Family of Justice to go through for 20k. Removing 2 things is just huge overs on the value of the card. I think Unified Spirit Trunks is a very, very interesting card that will see some level of play. Easily, for me, the second best card in this set, but does not come anywhere close
to the 7th and final Psyched Up Gotenks. 6 costs, double green. Feel like this should have been triple green. Union Fusion for 4, 2 and double green. Sun Goten and Trunks Youth. Place 1 each of the specified card with the same power from your hand into the drop here and play this card. Very interesting, that little caveat on that one there, that they have to be the same power. Don't have to be the same color though, so there definitely are Sun Goten and Trunks Youth in alternate colors that both will have the same power. The double strike is relevant. A 25k double striker for 4 is huge overs. It's like as good a value as you can hope to get with the current power level of the sets. But the fact that when you play this card, if you have a Sun Goten in your drop area, you draw 2 cards. But if you have Trunks Youth in your drop area, you choose up to 1 opponent's battle card and KO it. This is clearly going to fit into the Untappy Goku, the Soul Striker decks that people are playing. It's the flavor of the month at the moment. That deck is just BG good stuff, and this is heaps of good stuff. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to play this. We already spoke about how you can get value from the Trunks as well as the Sun Goten in terms of tutoring cards and removing blockers. For 4 energy, this is one of the best things you can possibly do on 4. I think this is even maybe more relevant than Kale. And, you know, does Kale become sideboard card because of this? Possibly, depending on where the meta goes with tokens and blockers. But then for 4 is what kills it for me. For 5, I feel like it probably is more adequately costed. But even just playing the set 1 5-drop Gotenks into this on turn 6, yes, you don't get the energy refresh, but it is such a beastly card. And that you can set up removal, you can set up card draw. If you Union Fusion from hand, it replaces the cards that you take out of hand as well, which is just nuts. I think this is pretty much very clever. Will force everyone to buy this, because if you want to play green, I feel like you have to almost play this card. Obviously, there's another set coming out, so maybe suddenly this doesn't become value, but I do feel like this is a very, very strong card. Does it make things like the... is it the Gallic Gun? No, the Family Kamehameha. Does it make things like that more relevant? The remove cards that have greater energy costs than your opponent has energy. You know, interesting to see if those cards become more sideboard techy, if we start seeing stuff like this, because Psyched Up Gotenks for 4 does a lot of damage, but feels real good to remove it with just 1 extra card. I do just want to say one thing quickly with, let me just go back to this. With the first card we looked at, the Comrades Combined, when it says look at up to 7 cards, the reason why I want to bring this up is, I just remember this, I was talking about this the other day. This is one of the few cards that once you look at your deck, you don't actually shuffle it afterwards. It says then place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. But the top ability says look at up to the top 7. So just be wary if you do play this card. And like I said, I don't think this card's actually going to see play. But if you're going to play a card like this, reveal the cards, or like you look at the cards, don't reveal them, one at a time. Because if you get Vegeta off the first one, straight to the battlefield, and then you're not messing with anything coming up, there's every chance you've got 10k pumps, you've got sensor beans, you've got an objection, you've got X drop coming that you really need to see. And if you just grab 7, then you potentially hurt that, because you have to put them back on the bottom, and then you need to either find a way to generate shuffling your deck, or you've lost those cards and you won't be seeing them till very, very late in the game, and decks are not going to the last 3 or 4 cards in their deck at the moment. So just something I wanted to point out with the Comrades Combined. But that is it. That is Mighty Heroes, the first expansion deck box set. We will be doing Dark Demons Villains next, maybe next week, or maybe just before the end of this week. But let me know what you think of the new cards. Hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you are new. Heaps of exciting DBS content on its way. Plus, we've jumped into a new set with Magic at the moment. We've just had Rivals in Destiny release as well. So it is an awesome time to be alive and well in the trading card game. Thank you so much for watching this one. My name is Coops. This is the Whole Box and Dice. Peace.